1, 2. Alright, you're probably thinking, what kind of guitar is this? It's got a telly neck, and it's got a Stratocaster body, and it's a Squier. And you're thinking, huh, what is this? Well, you probably know Squier from making the copies of Fender products, and here's a Squier Stratocaster. And so I saw this, this is a pawn shop find. I saw this at a pawn shop and I thought, what is this? As it's a Squier, I'm thinking, it can't be that, you know, usually Squiers aren't that good. Every once in a while you run into one that, you know, is kind of good in some ways, but this one sung out to me for some reason. It played pretty good. The action, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a good blues guitar. And the pickups sound really good for a cheap guitar. It's got a single coil, like a telly, and a Stratocaster. Then it's got a humbuckler one, kind of like a Les Paul. So that's both of them together. That's it up there. So it's got a screaming lead. Really cool rhythm. So it's a really cool guitar. And apparently, after I got this, it took me a while to kind of even figure out what this was. It turns out this is a Squier 51. It's a combination of a Telecaster neck and a Stratocaster body, with some more, with kind of cheaper parts. And maybe they kind of did this because they had a lot of telly necks and some Stratocaster bodies, and they put them together at the Squier shop. This is the first time that I can remember that Squier actually put together a guitar themselves. It went from 2004 to 2006. This is a 2005 model. The 2004 model, up to a certain point, had the white pick guard, and those are kind of a little bit more valuable than this. Originally, the street price on this was $150. It went down to $90. I think there was even a blowout for like $69 as well when they stopped making them in 2006. I guess they were popular enough that Fender actually did something that I guess they haven't done before. Took a Squier guitar and made a Fender out of it. And basically they just call it the 51. And had a little bit bitter wood. This here is made out of bass wood. This is a complete maple neck though, which is amazing. It's one piece, so that's really cool. Anyway, so they sold that for like $1,000 Fender. They did that for I think 2011 to 13 or something like that. And then now they finally, Squier is back selling these as of 2013, and they're about $180. So I've never seen one of these in a pawn shop before. So I just thought, well, you know, let me put on a little bit of dirt on, and I got this relatively inexpensive amp going on right here. Now the action isn't perfect. I think it's a good blues guitar. And so it's a, you know, for rocking out with some blues. You know, it's got a screaming lead and rhythm. And it's pretty good. I got some new strings on it. And like I usually do with inexpensive guitars, one trick that I do that kind of fixes up, I put on new strings, clean it up of course, polish the hardware if it needs it, or oil things if I need to. Put on these strings. I take some graphite, just a pencil, and put it in the nut. I put a little bit down here in the bridge, even though it's not quite the same. You can see on there, basically the strings go in there. Apparently the new models actually go through the body like a regular Telecaster does, but the more economical Telecasters, the strings just go onto the bridge. and you're going through the body, you'd have I guess a little bit more sustain. That was one thing picking up this guitar. Usually electric guitar that has some weight on it has a better sound to it. And this is a 2005, so it's a 10-year-old guitar. I personally like guitars that are old, they've aged well, and hopefully they've been taken care of. It's got a pretty good, you can hear sustain. And that's a pretty long time. And that's because it's a heavier guitar. And it plays relatively well. I really like getting a hold of guitars that are inexpensive, because a lot of times when you first start playing guitar, you just haven't got thousands and thousands of dollars to buy a guitar. And going to pawn shops, a lot of times you can pick up decent guitars. Sometimes I know enough about guitars to go to a pawn shop and tell if the guitar has been taken care of and whatnot. A lot of times these guitars are bought, played a few times, put out to the side. I think this one was actually played at least a little bit. But I love the jumbo frets on it. I love the maple neck. It's a... I think I'm going to use it for some open mics nights or sometimes when I play. And it's kind of nice to have what I call a banger guitar. It is a guitar that you just carry around with you. If it gets banged up a little bit, it doesn't really matter because it's not too expensive. But, honestly, this plays pretty good. The sound's really good. So if you see a Squier 51, and again, you see the Stratocaster body, you see the telecaster neck, and you see the single pickup and the humbucker over there, and this kind of the two knobs down here. This is a 51. And nowhere on the guitar does it say 51. And this is Squier by Fender, and on the back it has a serial number, made in Indonesia. And so it's a pretty good guitar. So if you get an opportunity to get one, I would say grab it, especially if you like a cool blues guitar. I guess you can play almost any genre, country, I guess rock, metal on it as well. And I can just imagine how it sounds like on a better amp, a big Marshall stack or something like that. It's pretty awesome. So anyway, go out there and rock and roll with it. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good sound on a $180 guitar when it came out. $150 guitar when it came out. So you can pick up a new one for $180. I'm going to guess they maybe sound a little bit better because they have the strings in the back over here going through the body like a telecaster. Like a Stratocaster also. So anyways, it's pretty cool. So go out there and rock and roll. If you got some cool pawn shop guitars, let me know about them. And go out there